You're live, but I'm feeling dead. This is the Aaron Zero show with another edition of Today's Noise and all the noise you never want to hear. So, what do we have? Well, it's the World Cup fever day, and at 12:30 in the night, Indian Standard Time, the World Cup match between Argentina and Spain will be on. Who's going to win? And all the Delhi cafes are going to stay open for extra time, I believe, till 4 a.m. Who the hell would want to do that? I don't know. Not me, anyway. So, to cut a long story short, there's going to be a halftime show with Shakira, Madonna, BTS, and I believe Justin Bieber also. And the show is going to be curated by Coldplay frontman Chris Martin. So, fine form of things going on there. And while Lionel Messi is all of 39 years old, La Roya, or Roja, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, the Spanish star, is all of 26. And most of the Spanish team is average age is 26. So they've got a lot of thing going for them. But as far as the bettors are concerned, they've given Lionel Messi 62% chance of winning the match, 62% chance of getting the golden boot, so to speak. And so it's a match made in heaven or maybe hell, who knows? Who is it for me to decide? Because I remember the match between Argentina and Egypt. Egypt wasn't very happy because they felt they were winning the match. But why I digress. So all of you get your hats on, your World Cup hats on, and wake up at 12:30 in the night and watch this great match. I, of course, will be soundly asleep. Cup or world, nothing stops me from getting my 95 winks, disturbed only by the neighbors and the cat and the dog and the parrot and whatnot. And in other news, Sonam Wangchuk, the Ladakh activist leader, has been shifted to the hospital, and much hullabaloo. Why did they shift him? And they're not uh, taking care of his rights and this and that. Well, I would think that if a man has been on a hunger fast for 20 days and has lost already 9 kilos, I believe, of weight, and is in a dehydrated state, and the doctors who came and checked on him in the morning advised the Delhi police to shift him to the hospital, and that is what happened. So I'm glad it happened because we definitely don't want a fine person like Sonam Wangchu to bid adieu. But still, there are other roadblocks. His wife doesn't want him to be in the hospital. She wants him to be in another hospital. Give me a break. Let the man have his treatment. And apparently, he has refused treatment there at the hospital. No dehydration medicines and other intravenous fluids and stuff like that. That I would say is not being very wise. If you have been on a fast, you should accept the doctor's orders or doctor's knowledge. And you cannot know more than the doctor because he's looking at all your vital signs. That is what I would think. Anyway, it is where it is. In other news, India had a milestone space moment with the successful launch of the Skyroot aerospace rocket, which was very much like the Indian uh, PLSV-3 rocket, which is used on many government launches. And the great thing was that this rocket, on its very first launch, was successful and managed to put 6 payloads into low Earth orbit. And so India has joined the elite club of nations that do carry out satellite launches. There being USA with 11,000 launches, China with 1,000, and India is way down with about 136 launches. Still, it opens the doors for many other countries who would like to place a satellite in orbit. They could come to India and discuss the matters, and I guess the Indians would be happy to give them a break and get the business of private space flight started. So, quite a defining moment for space technology in India, because before, of course, space technology was uh, almost entirely the view under the review of the government, and it was totally the government that was launching the rockets and stuff like that. So it's a new chapter, a new story is unfolding in the Indian space race, so to speak. And I have to also talk about the green hydrogen train, which I think also is a game changer, because if you're using hydrogen to power a train, though of course there are a lot of naysayers and doomsayers who say the money should have been better spent on feeding people and this and that. That I agree, but it's always good to embrace a new technology and to be on the forefront of it, because the world is changing rapidly, and either you change with the world or you get left behind. And the other latest thing is that China is now looking to incorporate AI, or artificial intelligence, in smartphones in a big way. So that is the race that is changing even in smartphone technology. While there are a lot of protests, even in USA, against the new data centers that have been established, because apparently they take too much electricity and emit too much heat. That is what is going on there. And in other news, what do we have? We have the Iran US conflict, which is going on and which has escalated with about uh, day seventh of attacks now by US military. And US military is attacking bridges and airport and railway lines. I don't know if they have attacked a desalinization plant of Iran, but Iran in turn has attacked military bases in Kuwait, Bahrain, Jordan, etc., and also attacked some desalinization plants in Kuwait, I believe, and Bahrain, and power plant. So, not at all good news at all. And the same story is with Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine and Russia story is also going on. The attacks are picking up, and Ukraine has launched drone attacks on a Russian e-commerce warehouse called Wildberries, I believe. And in Wildberries, instead of having Wildberries, you have drones and drone parts. And that is what is going on there. And Russia, in turn, has launched strikes against the port of Odessa and in the Sea of Azov, and some Ukrainian tankers and stuff like that, plus missile attacks on Kiev. So, not good news really for people who are talking about peace. The peace is going to pieces, basically. And this illegal war that was started by Mr. Trump is solely of his making, February 28th. So 5 months, I believe. And he and Israel are totally to blame for all the damage that has occurred. And we don't see any way out of it, but that's what it is. It is what it is. And I don't know when the fat lady will sing. But on that cheerful note, we wish you a wonderful day and subscribe by the billion. Thank you.